What's my name again? Crypto Explained is live. All right. So this is a super exciting time in the market. I just love to pop in here unannounced and tell you I'm feeling very positive, at least in the short term, meaning like the next week and certainly the next, let's say, month or so, right? We're definitely in the middle. We've already started our little relief rally, and we're in like the sweet spot of it, right? We're off the lows, right? Whatever Bitcoin was at 86K, give it to 87K. Now we're up in the low 90s again. So we're off lows. We've already gone up a little bit higher. Now we pull back. We're like doing that little retest. And when I say Bitcoin, I'm speaking for most of the cryptos in general, since at this point, Bitcoin dominance is still, holding above 59%, although I don't feel like that won't last too much longer. But for now, most coins are following Bitcoin. Monero had a really nice little pop. And with that, I think, and it looks like the rest of the privacy coins are starting to follow again, this time led by Monero. Last time was led by Zcash. But I digress. I'm just speaking for the most part, right? No, Bitcoin, most of they follow Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is now, again, was it 90? Actually, I'll look at my computer right here. What is Bitcoin at exactly in this moment? Okay, 91,714. All right, it's already gone up a little bit today, but it's pulled back from that, like just above 92K. But yeah, it's been chopping around, let's say, low 90s. Okay, and so we're just so fucking close to our next move up, which is going to be approaching the 100K range. And when I say so close, I mean probably in the next few days. That's my, just my personal guess. And when we get, now we can either get close, and I've said this before in previous videos, we can either get close to 100K, whether it's like 98, 99K, maybe even 97K, or we shoot a little bit above it on 103K, 105K, who knows? And that could be over, the next few days or a couple weeks. And then I expect, of course, a retest back again from there. But again, just focusing on the first step, the first thing ahead, all that matters right now, the only thing that matters right now in the next few days, we are going higher. Then we'll worry about the next thing when it comes to it. But I feel much more confident. Like if I had to rate my confidence on a scale of 1 to 100, 1 is like, I have no clue. And 100 is like, I've been, spoken to by the ghost of Satoshi himself, and he told me exactly what's going to happen. But no, I'm probably on that scale. I'm probably like a 90, 91, let's say. I'm pretty sure we're at least going to get close to the 100Ks. Maybe no, 93. I'm that confident. Satoshi has not told me himself. Other than that, I'm pretty good. And it's not just my opinion. I'm not pulling this out of the air. I mean, it is my opinion, but I've gotten this from listening to some of my favorite analysts who are right, and they use different methodologies, different techniques, different types of analysis. Some use astrology, numerology, some, just traditional TA, and then there's different, and then within traditional TA, of course, there's so many different types. But more or less, they're all kind of saying the same thing. At the very least, we're going to get close to 100K as part of our relief rally. Okay, so and it's just common sense. Not only is it like TA and analysis wise, but if it's just common. Now, this is me saying this. It's common sense if you think about it. We've been in extreme fear and depression for so long, basically all the way up until the start of this year. So December, October, November, right? Like most of last year, especially the second half of last year, we were in depression. In the last few months, it was just horrible blood basement. Ugh, right? So we're overdue, again, just common sense, we're overdue for a little relief when not a single person, including crypto bros, nor the average person on the street, the Uber driver, your hairdresser, right? No one literally wants to even talk about crypto, and they're just like, ugh. Maybe gold, like, oh, I hear gold's a good investment, right? That's when you know not to buy gold. Sell your gold and buy crypto. At least that's that's the non-financial advice of what I'm doing, just from reverse psychology, because I know hindsight's 50-50, But looking back, whenever people get really excited about stuff, especially like the average Joe, or really scared and depressed, usually it's wisest to do the opposite, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I've got a little bit of precious metals lying around. Already sold some of those. Some okay in the long term. If you're thinking a few 2-3 years, I bet it's going to be much higher. But I'm just talking about in the short term, next few months, maybe over this year. Crypto is a much, much, much more better investment at this point in time, with gold, silver, platinum being so high, cryptos being so low. Things have got to balance out. Right? So now let's talk. So that's kind of my direction of where I think things are going. Like I said, over at least the next few days and few weeks. And I would expect probably at least through part of February, crypto should be pretty good. And then this relief rally will eventually pull back again and then get that final washout when people are going to get excited. Believe me, if Bitcoin does go above 100K in the short term, which it looks like it will, it's more likely than not. Then that's when people get excited, and you hear about it in the news and social media. People slowly start talking about it, and believe me, if approaches like Bitcoin 110K or something like that, people are like, "Oh my God, like I'm missing out, FOMO." This is, you hear the last chance. Man, if I hear last chance one more time, man, yeah, you have to be in this market for years to know what I mean. But yeah, when you hear last chance, that means it's usually time to sell. But yeah, my point is, once we get above the 100K again, then I'm going to start to get, short term, starting to get worried about like taking some profits. I wouldn't say worried, but just taking some chips off the table. I have some crypto loans that I've been dying to pay back, and I really, really, really am excited to pay some of those back once we get above that 100K range in the short term. Of course, my longer term bags, I'm holding till the crazy alt season, which will probably kick off more like in the summer, or at least late spring at the earliest. But we have a while to go for that. And that's where we're going to see our really, really crazy gains, the ones that we thought we would get in 2025. That's where we're going to see those for this year. Again, probably summer sometime. But at least for now, we're well overdue. And we've really, again, you all deserve this. Me and everyone else here is watching this, who have been holding these bloody bags for months on end, watching them go down as the stock market goes up, as gold goes up. We really deserve a little bit of relief, which is what we're just starting to get now. So that's my kind of like, let's say, prediction for. I'll just summarize it real quick right here. And it's been playing out over the last videos. I mean, I'm not like the biggest YouTuber that everyone watches my channel, but for those of you watching my live streams, you'll know it's been playing out like this. That we call these little relief rally, and now to be fair, it hasn't finished yet. We're just in the kind of early stages of the relief rally. It's been popping up and down, up and retesting. But I think we're gonna, have that next move leg up again over the next few days. Or at least week or something, right? We're going to get to that 100K range. Hey, what's up? I can't read your name. Dumisan Nikonawana. Sorry, I'm sure I butchered that name, but I just wanted to say hi. I tried. Okay, so yeah, I'll summarize the prediction now, and then I'm going to end this video with saying a couple of my favorite alt picks, right? But okay, so to summarize again, my prediction, we've started this little relief rally. We're going to at least get up to close to 100K. Most likely, we're going to break 100K over the next, let's say within the next few weeks, right? By February sometime. I think it's very, very realistic. With Bitcoin like popping up and down in the low 90s, it's only a matter of time till we get above 100K again. That's when everyone gets excited. That's when everyone jumps on. Oh my God, last chance. And that's when we, who knows exactly how high we go in the relief rally. Could be 102K, could be 110K, maybe even 115K. I would be surprised if we got higher than that. But, oh my God, someone's calling. All right. It's my friend. I'll call her back later. I get distracted. So that's what I see happening. We're going to get to that above 100K. Then we're going to pull back maybe, February, March, April, around that time frame. That's where we're going to have our final retest. And then who knows how low it could go back down to 90K. I think it's more likely it'll go at least into the 80Ks again, just to scare everyone out one last time. Wash out the stops, because people, they put their stops in around like one of those 10, around tens numbers. So it'll be like around 90K. So then it'll have to go below 90K, right? Or at least into the upper 80s, if not lower 80s, to wash out the stops and the over leveraged traders. And then again, by late in the spring, April, May, and then or maybe early summer, June, that's when we spring up for one final alt season, the one that we've all been desperately waiting for and that we all deserve. Okay, so that was a lot, but that is, yeah, I think that's how it's going to happen. And a few noted analysts are saying something similar. So it's not just me. I'm not a professional analyst, I'll admit that. I'm obsessed about crypto. I have been since 2016. I know a whole lot about it. I know how to use DeFi platforms and apps, and I don't need to go list my whole resume, but I know a lot about crypto. I'm not an analyst. That's not my passion in life. Although I do know how to read basic chart patterns. I'm more like I follow a few analysts whose methodologies resonate with me, and then I will make my decision from there. More of like a buy and hold, or like I guess you could say swing trading as well, like longer periods of time. That's where I've had the most success. I've tried to do little scalps and little, buy one day and sell the next day, or a few hours later, make a few bucks. But more often than not, I don't. So it's just a lot of stress. It's just not worth it. So, okay. So moving on. Like I said, now I'm going to mention a couple of my favorite altcoins that I'm really excited about. So number one, I've mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. Bitcoin Cash has been the sleeper of the last, I don't even know, 10 months or for a long time. It has been slowly and stealthily, you thought I was going to say steadily, but I said stealthily, right? Because it's staying under the radar. Most YouTubers outside of like Cesar Gets Crypto, Dalen Anderson at High Altitude Investing, those are a couple of my, shout out to them, a couple of my favorite YouTubers. But they mention Bitcoin Cash, but a lot of the mainstream YouTubers do not. Just because it's old, it's boring. It's been around. It's the original Bitcoin fork. It's slowly built. People are slowly building on it over the years, but it's not like sexy and it's not some hot new blockchain like Ondo or some like now Render is the hot one because AI related. No, Bitcoin Cash is just slow, steady, safe. And it has been, if you look, just go on CoinGecko or something, look at the chart comparing its performance to Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's been slowly outperforming both. I think since February. So you can double check that. And it hasn't gotten like crazy attention yet because it's still well below its all-time high. Whatever the Bitcoin Cash all-time high was, like 3 or 4K, maybe around 4K. So it's well below that price-wise. I'm just talking about in comparison to Bitcoin and ETH. It's outperforming those. So you want something that's safe, that you can put large sums of money into, right? That it's not going to like go away overnight. Bitcoin Cash, and you want something that has a decent chance of continuing to outperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is a really nice option. Okay, so that's that, and I could go more into like fundamentals of why I like it, but let's just say it's a really solid coin. 21 million, same supply as Bitcoin. It's the original fork. Great option. Now another one I haven't mentioned this for quite a while is Verge, XVG. So this is a smaller cap. Obviously, this is a little bit higher risk, but I'll tell you a few reasons why I like it and why I have a feeling it will do well, at least in the, let's say short term, and probably by later this year as well. It's also, so Verge, XVG, has, let's see, number one, it's also stood the test of time. It has been around. It's one of the older alts, and you can look at it and it's still relevant, although like most other altcoins, it's well, I don't know, say 90, 80, probably something like 90%, I'd have to check, below its all-time high, but it's not like 99% below, right? It hasn't like basically dropped off the face of the earth. It's still somewhat relevant, and it's had earlier pumps over the last year. It has had some really nice pumps. So it's still hanging in there. Traders are still, keeping their eye on it. So yeah, number one. So again, it stood the test of time. It's one of the old OG altcoins. It has a limited supply. They're not making any more. So I'm pretty sure. So old, two, limited supply. I think all the supply that's already in existence is already there, right? So they can't like just pump some meme coin, right? Just make another bazillion tokens and put them on the market. Everything that's oh, thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. Whoever's liking this, liking this. Whoever's watching this, like and subscribe. Really appreciate your support. I think this is the longest live stream ever done. Wow. It's not so easy to continuously talk. But okay, so let me finish. So Verge, it's old. So the test of time, it has a limited supply. That all the supply is already on the market. There's not going to be any more that's ever going to be made, right? So traders will have to, in other words, buy it from the exchanges, from the open market. They just can't just make it for their team or something. And then number three, it's actually considered a privacy coin. Now, I don't know personally so much about the tech, how the privacy tech works, because there's various forms of privacy, ZK snarks and roll-ups and all these terms, hot terms. But I do know it actually doesn't even matter. As far as price is concerned, all that matters is it's in the category of a privacy token. Therefore, when privacy pumps, like Monero, I just mentioned, Monero is just starting a huge pump, and to a lesser extent, like Zcash, Horizon, other privacy coins are following it. So is Verge. Verge is up 7%. Now, that's not life-changing. That's not crazy, but that's more than the average altcoin. And I think it will continue. And as long as Monero and other privacy continues to, this time being led by Monero, continues to pump, Verge should follow that. And it may later on, and probably it will be a later mover because it is a much, much smaller cap than like Monero or Zcash even. So the small caps usually pump later. And they pump fast and they pump out of nowhere. And they usually shoot up a lot quicker, though, than the larger caps because it needs less money, right, to move it being a smaller cap. So yeah, those three reasons right there. And yeah, and then I guess if you want to call it like a fourth reason, it does these kind of pumps out of nowhere. If you look, it does these straight line breakouts. And over the last, and it hasn't just did it 3 years ago. No, it was over the last year, it did it a few times. And the chart, okay, fifth reason, the chart is just really, really solid. Again, I'm not an analyst, but I can see when it holds support, it doesn't break below, and then it goes up a little, down a little bit. It's kind of been trending up, especially if you look over the last, couple weeks. It's been doing really well, but just even over the last few months, I mean, it's just a solid chart. I like that. Again, I don't know if it's going to pump tomorrow, but I think Verge has a really good chance of pumping relatively soon. And even if I'm wrong, even if it it goes up a little higher and just doesn't do anything crazy right now, I think it certainly will by the time alt season comes around, which will be, again, my prediction is by the summer. So even if I'm wrong and Verge doesn't do anything crazy right now, all right, so you hold on another 6 months, 7 months. I mean, hey, we've been holding our bags so long. Does it really matter if you have to wait to see a 5, 10, 15x until you have to wait 6 months to see it? All right. And finally, you don't put a whole shit ton of money into Verge. It's not like something like Bitcoin Cash where you can safely just dump, a truckload of cash into because it's in the top 20 large cap, et cetera, et cetera. But Verge is something you can certainly put in a little bit and not lose sleep over, again, because it's already stood the test of time. So, wow, that was a lot. I'm almost been streaming 20 minutes. Hey, if anyone watching this wants to shoot out a question real quick, let me know. I'm happy to answer that right now while I'm still streaming. Otherwise, and by the way, thank you so much for the likes and any subscribe really means the world to me. I'm going to do these live streams as much as I possibly can. I'm not monetizing at this time. The channel is not monetized. I'm just doing this for the love and passion of helping you guys, giving you my, let's say, expert opinion. Well, I consider myself an expert. Again, I'm not a chart analyst, but I've done crypto coaching, consulting professionally for private clients as well as companies over the last, let's say 7 years, something like that. I've been in the game about 10 years myself. So yeah. I guess I am an expert. So happy to give you my help whenever I have the moment, have the time to. Any final words of wisdom I will leave you with? Okay. Yeah, I'll end this now. It's almost 20 minutes, but stay strong. We got this, at least in the very, very short term. If you need some cash, hang in there because we're gonna continue that relief rally at least through around 100K, probably a little bit higher, over the next month. which will, bring up all the alts with Bitcoin. So hang in there. And then if you really need, to pay the bills, etc., and you don't want to wait till the summer, then it's totally fine, in my opinion, to take some off the table, reward yourself, go out to a nice dinner, pay the loans off, do what you got to do. We are so close. All right. So at least that's what I'm doing. I really could use cash, but I'm like, just another few days, just a couple more weeks. That's where I'm at. Okay, we are over 20 minutes now. All right, I am gonna have a drink to congratulate myself for my longest live stream ever. So thanks everyone, like and subscribe. Again, really awesome that you supported and you swung by for supporting the channel. And comment below if you have questions come up later when you're watching this, or you just want to tell me how amazing I am. Feel free to shoot a comment in there, and that means the world to me. All right, I am going to sign off for now, and I will see you again soon. Peace.